Do you want to have the ultimate control over your life? Welcome to Take Control with Whitney Wells, where we will explore all topics of life that we try and control, what this creates for you, and how to have successful relationships all while empowering yourself. Keep listening and let's have some fun. Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 42 of Take Control with Whitney Wells. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate all of you that listen and support. And if you do enjoy the podcast, feel free to write me a review and rate the podcast. Subscribe to it so you can always hear it. The support means so much to me, and your reviews will help me to tailor the podcast to the things that you want to hear. So if you have anything that you are wanting to hear more of that you like, I would love to know. All right, so I hope you all are having a great day. I hope you all had a great week. Personally, my week was wonderful. It was great. I could not have asked for a better week. My son started in-person kindergarten, and if you listened to last week's podcast, I was pretty nervous about it. I talked about letting him experience his negative emotions, if he does have any, if those happen to occur. And having that be the whole human experience and wanting them to have that. And that's exactly what happened. He enjoyed kindergarten. There were some scary times, some uncomfortable times for him. You know, entering a new building, walking into a new classroom. On the second day, he didn't know exactly where to go. So that was a little scary for him, but he was able to handle it and he was able to make it through and everything was okay. And that's what I kept thinking. Everything will be okay. These challenges are here for him. So the week went well. I hope you all had a great week as well. So let's dive into the topic we're talking about today. Now, this is one of my favorite concepts. When I first learned this concept, I was mind blown and I felt instantly empowered and freed and just in control, more so than I already felt like I was. Now, the concept is meeting your own needs. And this is to benefit you and your relationships. So to start off, I want you to ask these questions to yourself. Do you ever look to your partner to make you feel happy or loved or appreciated? For example, have you ever said to yourself or to someone else, if they just did this one thing, I would be happy. I would feel happy. I would feel loved. I would feel appreciated. Now, this is so common. I was right there with you until I learned this amazing concept of meeting your own needs. Now, this concept may sound selfish, or it may sound disconnected from your partner or your loved one. You may be thinking that, right? But I just want you to hear me out and don't write it off just yet. Stay with me and I will show you how it can be so beneficial to you and your marriage or your relationship. So a lot of traditional couples therapy, couples counseling, suggests that each person in a relationship make a list of their needs, their own needs, and then you share it with your partner or your spouse. And this is so that your partner or your spouse can meet those needs, can fulfill those needs. Now, while this may sound really nice, and it may make sense at first, I just want to suggest that this is a recipe for failure, for setting yourself up for feeling powerless. It's a recipe for feeling exhausted, feeling frustrated, and for not being authentic, not being real. It's a recipe for pretend. So instead, I suggest both people in the relationship, in the marriage, meet their own needs. Meeting your own needs will empower you. It'll set you up for success in your relationship. And it's both freeing, energizing, and authentic, real. Now, what does meeting your own needs mean exactly? What does that mean? Well, meeting your own needs means that it's not your responsibility to meet your husband or your wife's needs. And it's not their responsibility to meet your needs. You are responsible to meet your own needs, and they're responsible for meeting their own needs. So let's explore what, in quotes, needs actually mean to you. Now, for each person, these could be different, and some could be the same. So besides our basic survival needs, like shelter, food, water, which are still yours to meet, we're going to talk about, and we're going to focus on, our need to feel a certain way. First, we need to identify our emotional needs. We need to know what they are in order to meet them, right? And instead of giving this list to your spouse or your partner, I want you to keep it for yourself. Take that control back. Take that power back. And take the matters into your own hands. Identify what you want to feel in your marriage. Now, sometimes these feelings show up in a way of an action. But I want you to try and look beyond this action and ask yourself, okay, let's say you have a want. You want your partner or your spouse to be more romantic, do romantic things. That's an action, right? Or have more meaningful conversations with you, or spend more quality time with you. These are all actions. Now ask yourself, why do you want him or her to do these things? There is a feeling behind the actions that you desire. Now maybe those feelings are connection, or love, or worthiness. You want to uncover what you want to feel, what you would feel if this person did those things. That is your emotional need. That's your emotional want. These feelings you have identified are the emotional needs that you can meet. Now, how? How to implement this? So now you have identified your needs. How do you meet them? Well, if you listen to my podcast, you know that I believe and that I teach that your thoughts create your feelings. If you want to feel a feeling, you simply need to find the thoughts that will create this feeling for yourself. They don't need to do or say or act in the way that you want them to in order for you to feel this way. And in fact, even if they did, it all comes back to your thought. Your thought about what they're doing, what they're saying, is creating that feeling for yourself. Now, I say you simply need to find the thoughts, right, to create this feeling for yourself. But simply, it's simple, yes, but it's not always easy. So I'm going to break it down a little further for you. First, you want to uncover your thoughts to see what you are thinking that is creating your current feelings. You want to have this awareness and own them as simple sentences that you have chosen to think. Just simple sentences in your brain. That's all. Then, know that your thoughts are optional. They're not facts. And when you understand that they're optional, you can question your thoughts. How could they not be true? What else could be true? Try on new thoughts to see what feels good and what creates the feelings that you desire. The feelings that you want to feel, your emotional needs. Now, as I said, this process is simple, but it's not easy. It requires opening your mind up to other possibilities. It requires allowing yourself to be wrong about your current thoughts in order to feel how you want to feel. And it requires practice and repetition of the new thoughts. So if you want to meet your own emotional needs, I suggest you have the opportunity to take control and create your own happiness with your own thoughts. And not putting this responsibility in the hands of your spouse or your partner. Now let's talk about why I think this concept is so beneficial for you and your spouse and partner and your marriage and your relationship. Why is it so beneficial? Meeting your own emotional needs frees you from relying on others to do this impossible task of making you feel a certain way, of creating those feelings for you. You are in control of how you feel at every moment, not them. No matter what they do or say, your feelings come from a thought you have about their behavior or the thing that's occurring outside of you. Your feelings are coming from you, from your thoughts, not from them. So if you want to feel happy, connected, loved, you can look to yourself instead of looking to your spouse to meet your emotional needs, because ultimately they do not have control to make you feel a certain way. When you take control instead of being at the mercy of them and you meet your own emotional needs, you empower yourself. You empower yourself with this decision, and ultimately, you can give yourself what you truly want. And what you truly want, what we all truly want, is to feel a certain feeling. And meeting your own emotional needs also benefits your spouse and your partner. Now, how, right? Well, it takes the pressure off of someone else to do something that ultimately they do not have control over. So when you hand them this list of needs, they may feel pressure to meet those needs, right? And they don't even have the power to do so. So when you meet your own needs, you're taking that pressure away. You're not giving them this long list of needs and saying, please make me feel this way. They have the freedom to be who they truly are, authentically them, without pressure to be a version of themselves that you have requested. Now, maybe they will do the thing you ask them to do, right? Whatever it may be, whatever thing that you have requested of them, be more romantic, help out more with certain tasks. But if they are doing it out of obligation and in the attempt to make you happy, they are not being truly them. They are pretending. They are being inauthentic. And same goes for you. If you try to meet your spouse's emotional needs and try and do the things solely to try and make them happy or loved or appreciated, to feel those feelings, you're trying to do the impossible and being inauthentic yourself. When you do things not because you want to, but to please others, we often create resentment for ourselves, and this creates distance between you and your spouse or partner. You cannot make them feel anything. They feel happy or unhappy simply because they have a thought, and their feelings are out of your control. So when we can take responsibility for our own emotions and meet them for ourselves, this is so beneficial to our partners as well. Meeting your own needs benefits your marriage or relationship as well. Now, as I mentioned, when we first began this podcast, this episode, this concept may sound selfish or disconnected, but I want to offer to you that it's the opposite. Meeting your own needs actually brings you closer together as a complete couple in a relationship because you both are fulfilling your emotional needs in a way that actually works, rather than putting this impossible task on the other person, on your spouse, on your partner. Now, I heard a fellow coach, Jody Moore, say something the other day, and I wanted to share it here because it fits perfectly with this concept. As long as you feel as though you need something from your spouse to feel complete, you will always find a reason to feel slightly incomplete. So meeting your own needs and completing yourself, making yourself whole, and then coming together as two whole, complete humans creates more togetherness, creates more connection, not disconnection. I want to offer that a marriage isn't about completing someone else. It's not about making someone else whole. It's about completing yourself, them completing their self, and then coming together as two whole humans to enjoy each other, to love each other, to build a life together, and to have fun with each other. So if this concept seems beneficial to you, give it a shot. Try it out. See how you and your relationships transform. And tell me about it. Write a review. Tell me how this is beneficial to you. Tell me how it has transformed you, if it has, right? Also, if you want to take this further, if you want to dive into these concepts more, I would love to do so with you. Sign up for a free 20-minute coaching session, and we can get started right away. Coaching can change your life, and I would love to be on that journey with you. All right, thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Do you want to explore these topics further? Are you ready to live the life that you want to live on purpose while controlling what you have control over? I would love to be your life coach. If you're interested, simply head over to whitneywellscoaching.com and book an appointment with me today. I can't wait to work with you.